Alright guys, hey, welcome to the video. And real quick, I got a lot of stuff to do today. I was literally flying out the door, but I decided to post this up because I saw that Rebug released a new 482 Lite version yesterday. And so this CFW is a little bit different from the other Rebugs that we're used to, like the Rex and the Dex or whatever. Um, they don't like us to, hot link stuff, so I'm just going to put a link that brings you here to the Rebug page. When you go up here and click on the 482 Lite Rebug deal, then just scroll all the way down to the bottom, and the two things that you're going to need to download are right here, which is the CFW itself and the Rebug toolbox. Make sure that if you're going to use this 482 Lite edition, make sure you use only this toolbox with it. As I mentioned in my last video, you can use this toolbox with other CFW, but a lot of the stuff is disabled because it's not Rebug. However, if you're going to use this specific Rebug, then you need to use this specific Rebug toolbox. This edition of Rebug basically is strictly Kex, and that's the main difference. That's why it's called Lite. Most of you, really, that's what you're going to see as being the main difference, is that you can't go from Kex to Dex or from Dex back to Kex with this edition. You strictly have to stay in Kex. Basically everything else you'll find, at least for 99% of you out there, everything else would be primarily the same. You can still install all your apps and use menus, and everything is the same. Of course, because this is 482, you do not need to run a spoofer with it. This will install over any CFW as long as the CFW you're installing it over is 482 or lower, and as long as it's Kex, it will install right over it. I would make absolutely sure that you disable any spoofers you have running. So if you have a spoofer running, make sure you fully disable it. Don't just delete it from the XMB. That's not disabling it. Follow the proper procedures to disable the CFW. Once it's been fully disabled, I also recommend that you disable Webman if you activated it in the Rebug toolbox. Disable Cobra. Once you've done that, then you can go ahead and install this version of Rebug. And then you can delete the older toolbox from the XMB and install this newer one, and then you can activate Cobra. The other thing is that I believe that this version, I've sold out of all my PS3, so I don't have one to test this on, and I don't want to mess with mine. I already have it set a certain way. I believe that Webman mod or Webman is no longer included with this. You'll have to run it separately. If that's the case, then later on in the week I'll show you how to add any Webman mod from from the most current all the way to an older version. Those older versions are more stable anyway. So if you are looking to run Webman, if it's not here, I'll show you how to do that. Webman and Webman mod are actually two different things, so I'll show you how to do either or. And this might benefit those who want to run Webman mod, but in the last year and a half, they've been kind of glitchy or buggy or whatever. So I'll show you how to install the older ones that are more stable. The other thing is that when you run the new exploit, the 482 exploit, instead, after the exploit has been completed, instead of installing ferrox 482, which is what you're supposed to do after the exploit has run, you can now use this instead of ferrox. So that's a benefit as well. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments as always. And yeah, we'll go ahead and see you on the next one. Take care.